Do you like NASCAR? Do you like a Tribe Called Quest? Well, you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like manwich and nachos? Well, then you'd love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like guns? Do you like butter? Well, you're gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Yo, what's good, son? You like pit bulls, say? You like solving Sudoku puzzles? Then you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Hey, buddy, if your car making a sound like this, you might want to get you some power steering fluid and check out the Urban Conservative podcast.
Are you repulsed by the idea of drag queen story time at your local library, but enjoy Carol Baskin TikTok memes? Then you would enjoy the Urban Conservative. Do you want to slap your boss and then go home and make yourself some golden brown pancakes covered in butter and freshly made warm boysenberry syrup? Then you'll love the Urban Conservative.
TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
This season of the Urban Conservative Podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com. This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description. What up? Top of the morning. Hope everybody's doing good. Good morning to you. This is Addul Ali, and welcome to Top of the Morning. You're checking us out on Millennium TV and on the Urban Conservative. If you support what we do here on the platform, make sure you get that Millennium TV 24 app. You can get it on your Roku, Amazon, Apple TV. Make sure you get if you have a Samsung TV, you get that too, so that you know when you can keep up with our content. We also need you to jump over to tuconservative.com. Show us some love, show us some support over that way. Appreciate everybody that's been checking out the show. We had a wonderful interview yesterday with our good friend Michelle Woodhouse. My brother was saying he liked her energy. We got to bring her back on the platform. So for today's mug shot, here's what we got. We're back in our standard TUC mug, everyone. We're not doing coffee this morning, no. We're doing a ginger honey, very spicy ginger honey tea. So don't forget, every day post a picture of you with your favorite mug and tag us at the Urban Conservative so that we can get your mug shot up on the show. We'd appreciate that. Again, tag us at the Urban Conservative with a picture of you and your favorite coffee mug. So I've got cats running around the studio today, so don't worry about that. But here's the thing. We've got some interesting stuff happening. We're not going to talk about the elephant in the room. I think sometimes you have a tendency to beat a dead horse. Sometimes it's not what the media is talking about, it's what the media is not talking about, while we need to cover other stuff. So first thing we're going to talk about is this, right? I'm not quite sure how Booty Gig, I like to call him Booty Gig, but I like the way Trump says Boot Edge. But Boot Edge supposed to be your transportation secretary, supposed to be taking care of your tax dollars and handling the transportational stuff. He is under fire now for taking a military aircraft to a sporting event with, it pains me to say, with his significant other. I'm not even calling that. But he basically took a military plane, which you're not supposed to do on your taxpayer dime. Um, he traveled with his Chaston. Yo, wait, all right, hold on. I'm not even gonna say it, but Chaston. So, what in the liberal hell is the name Chaston, bro? Like, does Chaston have a meaning? I wonder if Chaston means anything. But Chaston and Pete and Chaston took a military aircraft to a European sporting event. What they're saying is that they traveled from Joint Air Base Andrews to Rotterdam, Netherlands for the fifth Invictus Games via Mil Air flight on April 15th, returned 2 days later on a military aircraft, according to the calendar contained by Americans for Public Trust, or APT, and shared around the world with Fox News Digital and others. Photos and media reports concluded that his husband Chaston also traveled to the Netherlands with him. In the lead up to the event, Joe Biden announced that Buttigieg would lead a presidential delegation of lawmakers and administration officials to multiple sport events that is held for wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women. But you know how it goes. There's always going to be critics. The critics on Twitter and other online platforms called out his military travel, noting that Americans have been stranded. While families' holiday travel plans were upended by the department's failure, Buttigieg used their tax dollars to avoid the problems that he created. Now, I gotta be real with you guys here, and I gotta be 100% real with you on this. This is par for the course. This is par for the course for the left. Let's not talk about what we're doing with your money. Let's not talk about how we're flexing with your tax dollars, but let's go look at the big nothing burger that turns out to be Donald Trump's tax returns, right? Notice that the news is not talking about the fact that Trump's tax returns were just a big nothing burger. Didn't Trump tell you his taxes were a nothing burger? He did. I could have swore he mentioned to you, you don't want to see that. It's boring. If you really want to see what a person does, a tax return ain't it, actually. You really want to see their income statement, but that's a different ballgame. We don't want to see, left doesn't want you to see the mess that is the insider trading that goes on in Congress. How you have these people go in there, can't even get an apartment and come out $70 million. And then we found out Chaston actually has a name. It's of Latin origin, means the one who has pure character. The name Chaston is of Latin origin and is a girl name. So I guess we figured out who is she in that relationship based on names alone. You done named your boy Chaston. I don't even know why you did your son like that. That's just jacked up. But the whole point being, folks, do as I say, not as I do. More of that typical play from the left, more of these power hungry elites bouncing around the world on military planes on your tax dollar, while like the story said, you got Americans stranded in places, you got people who can't afford the cost of fuel. And it's like the idea, the concept here is that I have to go to the Invictus Games. The government has to pay for it. Why couldn't Pete Buttigieg get on his own plane, fly commercial like the rest of Americans do, right? You're too highfalutin, too important, dadgummit. You're just an elitist essentially. And let me tell you something else. Boot Edge has been all but useless as a transportation secretary. This dude has literally been useless. Can anybody point me to anything that Pete Boot Edge has done other than travel around the country and talk junk? Travel around the world and talk junk. I will send a mug. No, I won't send you a mug, but I bet you can't tell me anything that Buttigieg has done. It's absolutely nuts. And meanwhile, you look at the transportation situation in major cities, you look at the roads, the infrastructures, the bridges, the things that we need to have worked on. You look at the dang near strike of the train workers. You look at the truckers. You look at what's happening with transportation in our country. You look at the ports. You look at how stuff is being delayed, in entry. We still have issues. There's a lot of stores that I go around and see that's still pretty empty. So Pete Buttigieg don't need to be flying him and his girl, him and his guy around the world. And I said girl on purpose. They don't need to be flying around the world on our taxpayer dime. That's not what they need to be doing. We're going to take a very quick commercial break right here on Top of the Morning. Don't go nowhere. We got more to talk about this morning. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Be right back.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Top of the morning to you. Addul Ali here. We appreciate you being along the journey with us this morning. So today, we're not doing coffee. We're actually doing a ginger honey tea, a very spicy, sinus clearing ginger honey tea. Sometimes you got to lay off the coffee, give the liver a break, give the kidneys a break, save some coffee because we all know coffee is so much more expensive. If you haven't done so already, you want to support the platform, give us a shout at tuconservative.com. Jump on over there, get yourself a membership. That's a way you can support us. The Hamilton plan is only $10. If you want to sponsor an episode or even come on board as an underwriter to help sponsor a season, you can definitely do that. And you can also shoot us a cash app, $ TUConservative. Every little bit helps us keep the wheels in motion. So this next thing that we're going to talk about, and you all know we've made fun of Cori Bush and the squad. You want me to die? You want me to die? Like Cori Bush, that lady, like the lady, I don't want to answer that when asked about Joe Biden. So here's the thing, right? Y'all may or may not know this. I work very hard. My brother works very hard. And there's a lot of folks who work very hard to get the word out that the Republican Party is not about racism, okay? When we talk about the party of Jim Crow, when we talk about the party of the KKK, when we talk about the party of slavery, when we talk about the party of the Confederacy, we're not talking about the GOP, folks. It's just not it. And y'all know we work really hard to convey these conservative principles, ideas, and really to promote the GOP within Black and Brown communities. When you have an elected representative, before I mention this, I just want to show you all how, I don't know if irony is the right word, but it's ironic that we're talking about a multi-term congressional representative in the United States House of Representatives who makes, I don't know, $100,000 a year being in the House of Representatives, who has a per diem per day that she makes, who, although she had to struggle at the beginning of her life, she's made something of herself. Whether I agree with Cori Bush's policies or not, you have to stand in awe of the fact that a Black woman became a U.S. House rep, allegedly in a country that's inundated, completely surrounded by and brimming from, spilling over the rim with racism. So what she's decided to do is go attack our own, somebody else. She didn't go out there and attack a white guy. She decided it was a good idea to attack Byron Donalds. Now, here's why this is a terrible idea. This is why this is a terrible idea. You look at the post, and she tweeted out. She said, "At Byron Donalds is not a historic candidate for speaker. He is a prop. Despite being Black, he supports a policy agenda intent on upholding and perpetuating white supremacy. His name being in the mix is not progress, it's pathetic." Ladies and gentlemen, the world's smallest violin is now playing for you because of this stupidity. Now, Byron Donalds, to his credit, said, "Nobody asked that Cori Bush her opinion on the matter. Before you judge my agenda, let's have a debate over the policies and the outcomes. Until then, don't be a crab in a barrel." And that, sir, is the right damn response to this race baiting idiot. Because let me tell you something. There's not one Black Republican, a Republican that happens to be Black that I know, that stands for, promotes, supports, defends, encourages, advocates for white supremacy. It's the go-to argument from leftists when they have nothing else. She sees this black man potentially rising up the ranks of the GOP, and she doesn't like it. It doesn't play into the leftist victimhood mentality. So what does she do to play to her base? He's all about white supremacy. Y'all know, if you watch and you're in North Carolina, get in the comment section, tell us. Y'all know that's the same playbook they did with Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson's going to be the black face of white supremacy. You know, that's what the leftists want us to believe. And this is absolutely, utterly, totally 1,000,000% ridiculous. And I'm going to share something else with you guys about this. I, as a chairman of a county party, now, you know, this is not an official statement on behalf of the GOP, but what I had to do, I got an email from a state house rep. Happens to be a female Democrat. She happens to be an African American, and she won in my district. We didn't win the seat. She won in the seat. Got an email from the lady, and she was asking if the GOP wanted to participate in the Martin Luther King festivities, sponsor table, all those kind of things. And I responded back to her, and I said, you know, Ms. Williams, it is not lost on me that you are the first African American to represent Cabarrus County in the state legislature. And I respect that. I don't agree with you on policy stuff, but I respect the fact that you've been able to become something that in this country, in this time, in this day and age, you've been able to become an elected official. That is the most ridiculous, asinine, stupid thing somebody could say, especially considering who the party of Jim Crow is, who the party of the KKK is, who the party of modern day slavery is. And when we talk about modern day slavery, let's look at this just real quick before we jump to the next thing. I just want to look at this real quick. Who are the ones advocating against parental choice in education? Is that Republicans or Democrats? Who are the ones that are advocating for disastrous economic policy that's impacting inner cities? If you live in Charlotte, you live in Raleigh, you live in New York City, you live in Chicago, you live in San Francisco, you live in certain cities that are Democrat controlled, you know what I'm talking about. And especially black folks that watch our show, we get some trolls here and there. Listen, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that there is a Democrat-led city that is led by black. Look at what's the little Beetlejuice lady up there in Chicago, Lori Lightfoot. Tell me what Lori Lightfoot has done to benefit black communities. Tell me what they've done. I'll tell you something, Cori Bush. If Republicans and people like Byron Donalds are about white supremacy, then you'll have to explain why the policies they're advocating for are helping black communities do better. Here in North Carolina, I'm going to use a couple of examples. One, we just lowered our personal income tax rate. If that's not putting more money in the hands of single black mothers, I don't know what else is. We passed a raise the age law, which took our youth out of the adult criminal justice system. If that ain't helping black people, I don't know what is. We passed a law to get financial literacy in the high schools. Think about this. All the black people that said black people poor in this country because we don't got no financial literacy. So we passed a law to put it into our education system. You look at all of the stuff Donald Trump said, I could run down the entire gambit of the things that Donald Trump did. So for Cori Bush to sit up here and say that Byron Donalds advocates for policies of white supremacy, that shows me how thirsty she is. She's thirsty for the spotlight. She's thirsty for the Twitter reaction. She's thirsty for some attention. She's trying to placate her base, and it's a stupid thing to do. So we're going to be right back here on Top of the Morning. Don't go nowhere. Get yourself a cup of coffee. We'll be right back.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.
Welcome back to Top of the Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's doing good. Peace and love to you. Addul Ali here, one half of the Urban Conservative. Make sure you check us out live every single Monday night, 8 p.m. Catch us on all your social media. Make sure you're following the Urban Conservative. And then you can go back and listen to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. If there's a platform that you listen on and we're not on it, please let us know so that we can get on to that platform. So, I recently watched this movie. It's Death at a Funeral. Great movie, right? And it was, you always have these, wedding and a funeral movies. And sometimes people don't show up to funerals. It's a good idea not to show up. But it's a whole different ball game when somebody asks you not to show up to their funeral. Joe Biden is such a terrible president, such a horrible Catholic. The Pope asked him not to come to his funeral. How bad do you have to be, folks, for somebody to say, please don't come to I know I'm dead. I know I won't know. I know I won't care, but please don't come. Joe Biden asked by Pope Benedict asked him not to attend the funeral. That's bad, folks, when the Pope don't want you at his own funeral. Now, I think part of this is the Pope had wanted a smaller, private, not a big deal. But I think the other part of this is the Democrats' position in the church, the Roman Catholic Church's position on abstinence and contraceptives and the position on life. You can't, as a Democrat. And look, I'm not trying to have a theological debate with anybody, but you'll be very, very hard pressed. Okay, you'd be extremely hard pressed to find out. All right, to find out that being a Christian and being in favor of late stage abortion is often a tough thing to do. Now, the Vatican's press office did confirm that only 2 official state delegations, one from Italy and one from Germany, were invited to the funeral of the late Pope, right? So, look, I would prefer, and I get it, small personal funeral, but a big part of this has to do with his position on the pro-life issue. This late stage abortion thing, you can't. How do you be a Christian and in favor of murdering these babies? So the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, confirmed on Tuesday that the U.S. ambassador to the Holy See, to the Joe Donnelly, will attend. The event will be significantly different from the state funeral of the Queen Elizabeth, who died in September and was attended by world leaders. Biden was actually there for that. The former head of the Catholic Church also expressed a wish for a simple funeral. Like I said earlier, just 2 official national delegations, one from his native home of Germany and the other one from Italy. If you didn't know, Vatican City is an independent city-state contained entirely within Italy's territory. And the 2 countries have a straight relationship. So far, so good. Jean-Pierre also noted that Ambassador Donnelly will represent the United States at the funeral in line with the wishes of the late Pope and the Vatican. That is what their requests were. This is what their wishes were. And so that is what you're going to see from the U.S. In other words, don't send Joe Biden, barely know where he's at self to a funeral. Don't send him. Please just send the guy. You already got a guy here. We got an ambassador guy. So let's just send the ambassador guy. Don't send the bumbling idiot. Also, I think a big part of this, and we covered this some time ago on the Urban Conservative. Joe Biden don't get no respect in the world. Who respects Joe Biden in the world? What do you think Xi Jinping respects Joe Biden? Do you honestly think Vladimir Putin has any respect for Joe Biden at all? Think about that. He has so much respect for Joe Biden. He knew Joe Biden was such a gangster, he decided to invade Ukraine. And I've said it before, it wouldn't happen if Donald Trump was the president. So shouts out to the Pope. Rest in peace to the previous Pope. We're going to take a 1 minute, maybe less commercial break and come right back with our final story for Top of the Morning. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.
Welcome back to Top of the Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Addul Ali here. I hope y'all are having a good morning thus far. I hope all is well in your world and you've recovered fully from the New Year's shenanigans. I'm praying and hoping that everybody has a fantastic 2023. You know, as for us here at the Urban Conservative, things are going smashingly well. Big shout out to all our friends and our partners over at Millennium TV. Big ups to all of our underwriters and our sponsors. You too can become a sponsor or an underwriter. Just visit us at tuconservative.com because we've got an audience of millions, baby. You want to get your stuff seen by millions. We the people to help you do it. So, final story of the day, folks. I've never been a Madonna fan. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought when I was growing up that Like a Prayer was a cool video. That was the first time I'd seen anything like that with her and the crosses. I didn't realize then in the 90s how sacrilegious and what was going on, but it was Like a Prayer. Like a Prayer. Did I say Like a Player? No, Like a Virgin. No, it's Like a Prayer, bro. There's Like a Virgin. I'm going back and forth with my brother in the studio. There's Like a Prayer. There's something like a prayer, Madonna said. Find that in the background. But here's what we're talking about. Madonna, and this is not funny, but it's par for the course when we look at what's been going on now. Madonna has this organization. You know, she adopted some kids out of Malawi. Okay. Madonna's organization is now being investigated for, get this, human sex trafficking. Now, I want y'all to take a second and look at her up there with that Balenciaga bag, looking bonkers, okay? Madonna is, how do I put this? These people put these singers like on a pedestal. I don't get it. Like, I like singers. I think there's some singers that, that do well. I like their songs. I like their music. But this idea that these people have so much power, this idea that these people have all of this influence over elected officials, it's bizarre to me. You know, we put these celebrities on such a pedestal. It blows my mind. It is a interesting dynamic to say the least. But here's what you got. This sex trafficking, this group that Madonna's got, it's based out of Malawi. Okay. And she adopted these kids from Malawi, and now they're investigating her for this sexual LGBTQ kind of thing. Now, look, I'm not saying that all gay people are pedophiles. That's not what we're saying here. What we're saying is that there goes along with this, I don't want to say morally bankrupt lifestyle that a lot of these people have. It seems very groomish. You know, how come we don't know who was on Epstein Island? How come we don't know that still? And here's the crazy part about this. Black people are gonna say, oh, the left is just, they're going after her and they're not doing anything. And it's just not. She's trafficking. These people would be trafficking children. Okay. These are children. It's odd. And I'm just going to say it. I have no clue of what these people be doing with these kids. This is not, you see these kids popping up with monkeypox and all of this. Not a good look at all. So Madonna's organization under investigation. The Malawian people are investigating. So we'll see. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen, if anything actually comes out of it, or does money, power, and influence win again and screw the babies, literally. So there you have it. It's going to be a great day. Please be careful out there. Be safe. Be kind to your neighbors. Make sure you join us again right here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. for Top of the Morning, and each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. for the Urban Conservative Podcast. We're going to be live. The Urban Conservative will be covering Thursday. We'll be looking at the House. Looking to see what goes on with the state house, with the U.S. House and McCarthy and all of that. So for my twin brother, Raheem Soto, all of our friends and partners over at Millennium TV, my name is Addul Ali. Top of the morning, folks. See you tomorrow.
This season of the Urban Conservative Podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com. This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description.